Your property manager is stealing from you. Now, this might sound a little controversial, especially to those who invest at a distance and rely heavily on property managers, as I have over the last several years. But I'm here to tell you that your property manager is stealing from you, and in two major ways. Now, who am I? My name is Mike. I've been investing in real estate for the last 7 years. I've got 28 rental properties across 4 different states: Washington, Illinois, Indiana, and Florida. I've been investing at a distance since 2020, done every single type of financing that you can think of. But what I want to talk to you right now about is something that a lot of long distance investors are struggling with. And that's the fact that they have to rely so heavily on property managers, and those people are taking advantage of you. Now, there's a phenomenon that I've discovered recently, and I'm calling it the property manager contractor. What's happening is these property managers are fronting as a property management company, but they're really a general contracting company. You see, they realized some point along the way that they make way more money telling you your property needs to be updated, claiming the tenants did a bunch of damage, and signing you up for massive remodel jobs that they'll manage for a fee. They make way more money doing that than collecting 10% of whatever your rent might be. I mean, shoot, if they sign you up for a $20,000 job and they collect 10% for managing it, that's $2,000. If they've got a tenant paying $3,000 a month in rent, which would be huge, and they're only getting 10% of that, that's $300. They can make more selling one job to you as a remodel project, a necessary renovation, than they do by actually managing your rental properties. So they're not dumb. They're no fools. They figured this out. So my advice to you, you need to stop using your property manager to do any type of major renovation. Anything over a few $100s a month, and their interests are not aligned with yours. They're trying to make money off of you. Oh, we definitely need to repaint these. If we don't renovate it in a certain way, then there's a chance we might not get this unit rented. Well, is that the reality? Or is that just what they're saying because they want to make some money? I highly advise that you take the approach that I've been taking recently, which means you got to spend a lot more time going out to visit your properties. And maybe that's tough for you to do because of your schedule, how expensive flights can be. But I promise you, in the long run, it's probably going to save you way more money. Think about the management cost for one project at 10%. You could very easily spend $2,000 having your property manager manage something. Could that $2,000 be spent on hotels, flights, and a rental car, and you probably still have some left over? The answer is likely yes. My recommendation, of course, is that you immediately start trying to put together your own team of reliable contractors and handyman, the subcontractors. You need your flooring guy, you need your plumber, your electrician, you need the guy who's going to do your roof and your siding, you need your landscapers. You start putting this team together over the next 6 to 12 months so that when your next project comes online ready for you to do, you can complete it. I promise you, you're going to save more money. It will likely get done faster. And instead of sending large checks to your property manager and hoping that they perform the quality control they've said they will, you're doing quality control. If you're showing up to your place where you invest once a month for 2 or 3 days, everybody knows when the boss is going to be there. Everybody knows they better be performing. That's my advice to you for that. Now, the next major way that your property manager is stealing from you is in what they charge you. And I'm not just saying, oh, they're overcharging you by asking for 12% or 15% instead of 10%. What you need to do is you need to conceptualize how much of the rent you're actually making in profit. So for most investors, if they're getting $1,000 a month in rent, probably only 15 to 20% of that is actually profit, $150 to $200. Now, if your property manager is charging you 10% of the gross rent for their fee, that's also $100 for every 1,000. So if you're saying, well, I'm only making 20% profit and my property manager is taking 10%, they're essentially taking another 50% of what could be your profit. For every $200 you make, they took another 100. You could be making 300. Now, I know self-managing is a daunting task. It seems scary. You don't want to deal with the tenants, the termites, the toilet bowls. What happens when there's a repair? What happens when there's an eviction? How do I place good tenants? There's so many different things that are intimidating when it comes to investing at a distance, especially, or managing your own properties. Now, I got a friend of mine. He's a great guy. He's one of the only real estate courses I recommend because he has an entire course on how to self-manage rental properties. I don't make any money for recommending it. He's just a good friend of mine. His name is Matt, the Lumberjack Landlord. But here's the secret. All you got to do is go on YouTube, tune in for one of his live streams, and any question you have, you can just put in the chat and he'll answer it for free. So if you're cheap like me and you don't want to buy the course, then just go get the information right from the source. Now, I wanted to make this video because I'm noticing more and more people are becoming bearish on real estate. They're intimidated by it. They're not sure if it's a good investment anymore. And I would tell you, it absolutely is a good investment. But like everything, stuff changes over time. What was the American dream 20, 30, 40 years ago? Graduate high school, maybe go to college, get a good job, work there for 40 years, get a pension, retire with a golden watch, you're good to go. Well, that version of the American dream is dead. Everybody knows now that employers will likely pay new employees more than they pay existing employees. It's better typically to actually switch jobs and continue to look for employment and hop every 2 to 3 years and pick up the raises. Things change over time. College educations aren't what they used to be. You don't make nearly as much money with a 4-year degree as you used to. Most of these degrees are just paperweight on your desk that just anchor you with a bunch of student loan debt. Real estate's the same way. It changes over time. It's wonderful when we watch videos from people like Graham Stephan or Meet Kevin who are like, oh, I made a bunch of money. All you need to do is buy in 2009 when the market had a historic crash and ride that appreciation wave up. Why didn't you figure that out? How come you weren't buying real estate in the 90s? Oh, you were a baby like this one? You couldn't afford it? That's your problem. What you need to understand is that the investment strategies change over time, and you need to be ready, willing, and able to improvise, adapt, and overcome. I think it's my boy Bear Grylls who said that. You have to figure out how to do that also. Being willing to improvise and adapt and overcome the changes that are happening in real estate is critical if you're going to be successful investing in 2025. What I did in 2020 is different than what I'm doing today. Turnkey rentals worked then, they don't work now. Airbnb was working, it's not working in a lot of areas. Right now, what you want to do to be successful is to recognize that you need to skill up. You need to develop more skills, and those skills are managing remodel projects and buying properties that are at a significant discount because they're not move-in ready. And then you do the work and pick up that upside. Now, historically, I've never recommended people get started investing in real estate that way because it's harder. But at a time when there is no other option, nothing else is working as well, I would say now is the time to change the strategy, recognize that you don't have the skills, and then start trying to build on those skills. Now, I recommended one guy with a course, but the truth is you don't need a course. You don't need a book. All the information you need can be found for free here on YouTube. That's where I learned it. Or maybe even just networking with other investors in Facebook groups or on Instagram pages. So don't feel like you have to spend money. Don't let these fake gurus steal from you. Don't let your property manager steal from you. You deserve that money so that, you have a better life. Anyways, until next time, guys, as always, I appreciate you for watching. And hey, we'll catch you later. Guys, I appreciate you as always for watching. Remember, I made this video because I want you to keep as much of your money in your pocket as you possibly can. And nobody is going to be a better advocate for your dollar than you. So do not get scammed by property manager contractors who love to charge you money to do work and provide oversight when they do nothing of the sort. Lastly, remember, I've moved a lot of my content over to Rumble. Please follow me there, rumble.com. Look for Millennial Mike. Until then, we'll see you next time.